215 and 216 and essentially just get out that 2 packet that I gave you. Get out 215 and 216 and essentially... Yeah, the homework from last night. 216 is today. You need a packet then, is what you're saying? Right. Hi, yes. Lost it. That's unacceptable. It's not stable. So if you want to stable it, stable it. Some people don't want to stable it. I would prefer that you look for it before you completely just go up and say, man, screw it, 7 extra pieces of paper. Here is this for now. But if you find your other one, you must give me this back. Okay?
Wait.
I'm in the middle of a science thing and
Everybody sit down! Everybody sit down! Nope, everybody sit down. No questions, no comments, nothing. We have got to break the habit of run to the teacher. We've got to break that habit. You have to be able to deal with a tiny bit of uncomfort while we're in the middle of something. We're in the middle of something right now. You don't know everything because we're in the middle of something. 211 through 214. Notice I'm still at the very top of the screen here, and all y'all are trying to talk to me about like tomorrow. Those should be ready to be turned in. ASAP does not mean hit the panic button. It means as soon as you can. That doesn't mean you have to like sneak off to the bathroom and finish it right now. What that means is when you're done, turn it in. Most of you already have. This is not a gotcha game. It's just as soon as we're ready to put the grades in map, I'm going to put them in map. Pretty much what that means is if there are like 5 people still missing something, I'll probably talk to those 5 people and say, get it to me tomorrow. I need to post these grades. I'm waiting on you. Right? Like I know it's weird, but like I sometimes like kind of wait on people because if like a fourth of the class is still like finishing something, you probably needed more time to finish it. 215 was last night's homework. As well as like 214 kind of because it came over from last week. But we talked about that yesterday. I'm sorry if you missed these announcements. Not my fault if you don't listen. 214 and 215, quote unquote, and was yesterday's like, hey, get these done. If you didn't, it's fine. I'm not collecting 215 today. I told you to get it out so we can talk about these symbols and make sure that if you guys didn't read what the book said, that you actually understand what is going on with these arrows. So, what 48 on your paper was representing, and this doesn't like matter critically. Obviously, your practice work matters critically. What this was representing is 3 different ways to simplify the math. Now, if you read in your book, it talked about these 3 different ways, and we also talked about them yesterday. In the first one up here, every positive and negative, every set of opposites does what?
Cross each other out.
Yeah, that makes 0, right? So this method was our 0 pairs method. So if you'd like to write that on your notes. So it said, when we made these 0 pairs, and you need to look up at my screen to understand what we're doing. This arrow says it now becomes. This arrow was saying our tile become. Well, those zeros all disappear, and this dude's the only thing that's left. This set of 0 disappeared, and these dudes are the only thing that are left. So now we get 1 versus -2, right? And they're saying which one is bigger? Well, 1 would be bigger because it's positive. Does that make sense for the first one we did yesterday, Brenda?
You just want us to write in a sentence, the left one is greater.
I don't really care as long as you understand what's going on here. You should have something from having done it yesterday with your classmates. Now here, these arrows, put your eyes up on the smartboard. These arrows are saying if we drag, if I grab that tile and move it across the center line. Right now, it's the opposite of a negative. What's the opposite of a negative?
Positive.
So when we drag it across the line, it became positive. So this simplification is just pushing everything up to the positive, right? Make everything what it is. Not make everything positive, but make everything what it is. So you could say like push everything up or whatever. And then this, I don't really care what we call this. This method, what are we doing? This x, whoop, and this x, whoop. How do we put words on that sound effects?
Let's say this is a equation. You could make it an equation.
Yeah.
You could take like both x's. If you just minus x from both sides, you just simplify everything. Or at least more simple. Because those x's will just always equal the exact same thing. So why not just get rid of them?
Yeah, we know based off what your 7th grade teachers told you, as long as you do the same thing on both sides, you're allowed to do it. So we're not gonna check 215 today. We'll do that tomorrow. So I want to give you guys more time to get the 215 homework done. So now flip in your packet to 216 because we have a problem from our lesson here on 216. General questions before we dive into class. General questions for everybody. Not, I have my whatever, do you want it? Yes, of course I do. Put it in the bin. Map is updated with everything except for your masteries, because I am still grading revisions on your masteries. So, if you have a revision for your mastery and you turn it in today, I will grade it before I put them in map. Okay, so if you get your mastery revision in today, and I think I have a couple of your masteries to get back. I have some papers to get back as soon as we dive into the lesson. All right, so this is going to be another, you get to work with your teammates. We have this in front of us. So you have problem 58. So notice, look at your paper. You have problem 58. Are we on problem 58? No. We're on problem 56 right now. So you're not on your graph paper yet. Or, sorry, you're not on this paper yet, okay? Put your eyes on my screen. Set your pencil down. Take a deep breath. Right? Like, just chill for a second. We're just going to talk about math. If I decide that I'm going to build a mat, an algebra mat, right? Like we made one with the positive and then the opposite, right? The what it is and the opposite. So if I build a mat for 56, it would look like this. Because we said that the empty tiles are negatives, right? And the filled in tile, I guess I could zoom, but I think it's going to be a little weird. Filled in tile is positive. So notice how this is the same. 4 negatives up here, 1 positive, a positive, and a negative. I need suggestions for what we can do to help simplify this mat. Ava? Chestnut? Are we here, actually? We're not here, are we? Dang it, we're not here. That worked out terribly. Stella! Give me a...
This 7th, that's
It's 8th the wrong class.
3A. I put the wrong clip on the wrong class. Haha, Mr. Hudson's silly. See how this clip says 3A and you guys are 3A, but that's not you? Well, you're 3A, but these are not you.
Your eyes deceive you.
The 8th grade.
My binder clip deceives me. Patrick, give me an idea of what I can do up here.
You can first change the blue tile to a negative.
What do you? I can just right here just boop.
Oh, that works.
I can just flip it and just it's still that's allowed.
No. Well,
I think
you
that
have
changed.
You have to. Wait. You forget that one. Just the negative 1 tile. Move that to the positive and change it to blue.
Change it.
Make it positive. Yeah, you have to go to the upper. Like, yeah, the upper. Positive.
Wait, are you saying drag it up here?
Yeah.
Oh, drag it up here and flip it.
Yeah.
Oh, so if we move a tile across the middle line, it flips?
Yes.
Okay, so you want me to do that with all three of these?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
You can just equal them out. They'd all be zero.
You're incorrect. You're incorrect, Jake.
So that. So wait. Let's talk about why. This tile started down here in the opposite land. Max, you with me? You with me? Pick that up. Throw it away. Do you need a different seat?
I'll just get rid of the seat.
Hmm?
I will just get rid of the seat.
Okay. Make better choices, please. Don't make me control you. This is a +1 tile. However, it's a negative land. Or the opposite land. So it is actually the opposite of what it looks like. And what's the opposite of a +1? -1. So when I actually drag it to the real world, that used to be an MTV show, it becomes negative. So do not fall into the trapdoor that Jake pointed out for us on purpose. Those would not make zeros. This is the beginning, right? I went back to the beginning. They would not make zeros. That's the trapdoor. It looks like they would make zeros, but guys, these are on opposite sides.
You're welcome.
When I drag it across, it actually flips. So I cannot group. Now, over here, can I group zeros over here?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I go back to what we have now, I can group these zeros, I can group those zeros. And actually, guys, if you use your ebook, you can get to these like interactive tools. I can drag this off, right? Because once I have 0, I can drag it off and drag it off. So what's my left side?
-3.
And my right side?
-6.
Which one? Ooh, careful. Which one's bigger?
-3.
The left side. It is more positive. It is higher up. So with your teammates, and you might need a book, discuss, I'm worried we won't have enough time. I'm going to give you 5 minutes on the clock. I want you to discuss and decide the simplified value of as many of these as possible. I'm going to go get us more borrow books, because Mr. Hall said he's got more books I can get. But right now, we just got that book over there. This book, you can pull out your Chromebook and get your ebook up. I'll put B up on the board. I'll put B up on the board so you can see it up there.
I'll go on to the bathroom.
Okay. When you decided to play with the spoon in math class, was there
These are all the those are high school books.
Who wants a book? You want a book? Take the plastic off of it. You want a book? You want another book? You want another book? Another book? No? Huh? You've already, I'm going to number these here in a minute. I'll take the trash for you too. Help me out so let's go a little faster. This stuff's annoying. Alright, go. What page are we on? 68. You're on 68.
That's not me. Oh wait, that is.
It's weird because shaded is blue. Right, you gotta tell yourself shaded is blue.
That's like the right one is zero.
Stop it.
Give me your attention for 5 seconds. Only 5 seconds. What happens if I drag this across the line? It flips. Then, could I take away my x's? Oh, there's an idea. There's an idea. Same thing to both sides, right? Same thing to both sides. Now that's the next one. I have B up on the screen right now. But you guys can talk about C. I don't care.
I'm not there yet. No, you can take four minutes to wrap. Oh, you have to write it down. You want me to do egg or how many
I didn't tell you guys that you guys write it down. I usually just wanted to start together. Real quick and talking with each other. You will write it down. You can write down whatever you want. There's like a bajillion ways to write this down.
Are we going to write down this question?
We're gonna do the last two together.
Okay, guys, let's just go down into Oh yeah, you're right.
Why do you keep doing that?
I can't see.
Real quick, just so we can move on to C, so I can put something else up here. This is still B, for clarification's sake. I did what y'all told me to. Then I grouped zeros. What is the next thing I could do, Gust?
You can move the bottom tiles to the top tiles
And- While switching them, right? Or while flipping them?
Yeah.
So now my left one is...
The left one?
Yeah.
-6.
-6, and my right one is...
-2.
So which one's bigger?
Oh, the right.
The right
It
one.
would actually be -4 and 0 because 2 would cancel out.
This is 0. Remember,
Yeah,
this is 0. It has no value because it's a positive one. Oh, it's a positive one and a negative one. It's really, I should remove this because it's 0. And really, I should remove this because it's 0. If we go back and look at where we started, right? We started here. We drug this up and flipped it because anytime we drag across, we got to flip it. X on both sides. If I do the same thing on both sides, I can do whatever I want. So we remove this.
You could do the same thing on both sides and take away -2 on
Oh, hold up. Eyes back up here. Hold on. Different strategy, Jake. Different strategy. What'd you say?
So Lily was right. You can make it -4 and 0 because you can take -2 away from each side.
So you're saying get rid of this, and at the same time do the same thing on the other side,
But then, yeah.
and then get rid of what? Like this positive ones?
Well, if you go back to where you had the -6 and your -2.
Here's my beginning.
Wait. No,
This is the beginning.
yeah, just do whatever you did to get to that -6 and the negative.
Why are you messing with her?
Because it makes you guys think.
Already are thinking.
Okay.
And then group the 0.
Okay.
Do the 0 pairs. Take both
Remove,
sides.
because yeah, it's 0, so I can remove it.
How?
The other one.
Another 0 pair. How does that end up like that?
Just stacked. Okay.
And then you can take -1 away from each side.
-1 off of each side. Now I just got -4 compared to 0. This is the same. It's different, but it's the same. Hold on, let's look at C together. You don't have to write anything down yet. Let's look at C together. Guys, remember there are multiple ways to get to Florida. Please do not tell people they're wrong because they take a different route than you. Aaron, tell me one thing to do to start. If you're making noises, stop being immature. I'm really over it. I might be old at this point, but knock it off.
You could make 0 pairs on both.
Ooh, Ooh, Aharon's starting with 0 pairs. So make a bunch of 0 pairs and get rid of them. Because zeros don't matter, so we get rid of them. Next person to help me, Colin, what can I do now? Ooh, there are more 0 pairs. Sorry, somebody caught me. So Colin, after I've done all my 0 pairs, what could I then do?
Well, you can take those guys to the bottom and flip them.
So take the tiles from the bottom and flip them.
And then you can take out a Y pair. And
Ooh.
another pair.
Now we've got a Y pair.
And then you can also take out the Y's and the negatives.
Oh, and now same thing to both sides.
No, it's not zero.
Whoa, that cleaned up really nicely. Let's do D. Jake, give me something to do.
Oh, so you could switch the negative x squared to the right, to the positive side,
So drag it up and flip it.
and then you could take them both out.
Oh, and then I have an x squared on both sides. So take them out. Okay, sweet. Aiden, what next? Aiden Russell, sorry. I forget that we have 2 of them.
And you can do, because if you move the x up on the right side, it becomes negative x. You can take out all the x's.
These pair. Goodbye. Ooh, nope. Grab too much. Ah! So, do I need to drag these up to get rid of them? No, they're a 0 pair even down it. Guys, what's the opposite of 0?
It's a zero.
Yay!
No, the opposite of 0 is infinity.
So,
it's negative 0.
what's the last thing? Spencer, what's the last thing I should do to clean this up?
Give it a bath.
Ooh, take away from both sides. I agree. Max Wright, what next?
Do it on the top side.
Do what?
Take away from both sides.
Take away from both. Wait, 3. I can just do all 3 and all 3.
Wow, that's clean. It works.
Dilemma.
And then you
What happens when I drag this up?
Positive! Positive 1!
Sounds like we're on a game show or something.
Final Jeopardy.
Do E and F with your teams. Do E and F with your teams. You can write stuff down. Clean it all the way up. Clean it as cleaned up as you can get it. Get rid of as much as possible. You guys know we're on E and F, right? Okay. E and F. We're on E and F, right? E and F. So this is E. This is E.
Okay, so 2 on the left, get extra both out, and then on and then
Trying to make me swing the random bias. There's no bias for random.
Yes, three. Yeah,
I think two.
All right. Mr. Summers, can you give me a suggestion of what to do? And there's not like a right versus wrong. There's a lot of options. So bring it back together. Aiden's going to help me out.
Match anything that's the same on either side, like the Y on the bottom side, the X is on the bottom side.
And do what with them?
Drag them out to say
So are we doing the same thing on both sides, or are you telling me to make zeros?
same thing on both sides.
Ah, so Aiden said same thing on both sides, so I take away a Y from down here, take away a Y from down here, take away an X from down here, take away an X from down here. My bottoms are kind of done, at least it sort of looks like it for now, but I heard somebody saying you could bring this up and flip it. Ah, okay, now we got a negative Y on top, negative Y on top.
Take rid of the ones.
Ooh, the negative ones, be specific. Negative 1, negative 1. What can I do with this guy? Ooh, that's actually negative 1. So negative 1, negative 1.
And then that's a zero here.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
0, 0.
This is 0 equal to 0. Guys, this
Neither is greater.
this is a whole lot of nothing. It's a whole lot of
Just
nothing.
empty vacant space.
In F, Grant, tell me something I can do to start.
Add all the zero pairs.
I missed the first word you said, but I heard 0 pairs.
Yeah.
So, opposite, 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 opposite. Okay, time to drag. Ba-boom. Ba-boom.
Babushka.
Guys, if you're not making sound effects, you're not doing math right. Math has so many sound effects.
Well,
Can I cancel out these X's? Hey, Jake, can I cancel out these X's? No, that's a trap door. So remember, this is a trap door. It flips.
Not anymore.
So you can cancel out those ones.
Ooh, that flips.
Get rid of
Goodbye.
the cyan tiles.
That flips.
You
Goodbye.
can get rid of the
Ah, crap. Ah,
We have to do
Ooh, the teacher cost.
I said crap.
Yeah, my coach just said, excuse my language.
Remember that conversation we had at lunch, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that conversation. Now wait!
You can cancel out.
I have X. Oh, we can cancel out the X's.
Because there's so many of them. It's the same on each side.
yo.
So we have negative 6 and 0. Which is bigger?
Zero.
0. Guys, 0 is bigger.
No.
I know that's weird to think about.
I know.
Alright, here's your next task.
And then I changed my mind.
Wait, for real? Did I mess up making your notes? Oh, it is your practice work. So, let's do one of these like what we're going to do for your practice work. I don't know what I just did. Hey, did I ask? Shout out if you already did one. Yeah, no. So, here's how we're now, pick up a pencil, going to formalize this. If we were to write these things out, and we want to write out everything we have to start and show our work, I got some eyes not on me, that's why I keep emphasizing things weird. We're going to write out everything positive that we have, and then we're going to write out the opposite of everything we have on the bottom. Here's what I mean. How many X's do we have?
3x.
And a positive 1, and a negative 2. But then, minus, or the opposite of, ooh, yeah, that's a positive 1. But really,
To a negative 1.
yeah, it's going to become a negative, right? Versus, what's on our right side?
That's x.
We got an X. a negative 3,
Plus 1
a positive 1.
plus negative.
Ooh, the opposite, right? Opposite of.
Positive 6.
Ooh,
So
6? Yeah, 6.
Negative. Oh,
And that might be
Yeah, we can just make it minus 6, right? So let's clean up. What? So you said this really becomes,
3x.
guys, you should be writing this like on your graph paper.
Oh.
Remember when I said pick up a pencil?
Yeah.
3x plus 1 plus, no, wait, you guys said that's really minus 2. And that'll make Mr. Hall happy because we were discussing this morning minus versus negative. Ooh, that's not a 2, that's a 1.
I can't really.
I forget where they were, but they go here. Yeah, they actually, so you should have some in your room.
That's my old marker thing.
Oh yeah,
It's all
these.
worn down completely.
Yeah, these doodads. I think they realized those were bad. Yeah, these were somewhere. If you don't, I've got 2. If you want one, you should, like. I think they were like in my desk or something. Somewhere. So also we could have thought about like if I drug this up, it would have become a negative over there. So really, how many negatives do I have?
3.
3. 3x plus 1 minus 3. So really, what do I have on the left side?
9.
Like 3x plus negative 2.
Ooh, 3x and a negative 2. Or 3x and a minus 2. Whatever you want to say. It's either minus 2 or negative 2. It's both, right? It means the same thing.
3x plus minus 2.
So versus, well, we said this is going to become x, crap, minus 3. I keep trying to write plus negative.
Aren't you supposed to write
Hey,
x
Max,
plus negative?
you're obviously not writing this. That's a problem, because I've asked twice that people should be writing this with me. Minus 3.
Well, because
Plus
I
one.
have to write plus negative some whatever it is.
You don't have to write it exactly like I do, but you got to make sure what you're writing is accurate. So if you write minus instead of plus negative, I don't care, but make sure that it is correct. Because we all do math differently. Like, I'm not going to make you do math the same way as me. I'm going to show you different ways to do it. So now we get x minus 8. But guys, this kind of sucks. Why? Raise your hand. Who? Why?
Because of the 3x.
Why? Why does that make it kind of suck?
Because then you'll get an exact number that because the normal
I like how Lily was just like, she's answering, but I'm going to raise my hand so hard and whisper that she'll just stop and hand me the question.
because the x could be negative.
Ooh, the x might be negative. So even if we remove an x, yo, hold up, we can make this better. Even if we remove an x from both sides, what would we now have?
2x
2x and a negative 2 and
minus negative
just
8.
a negative 8.
And you could make it 2x and negative 6.
I think the left one would
Wait, hold on. Say what you're thinking.
You could make it 2x and negative 6.
What, how?
Like negative 2 from each.
If I take these 2 negatives away from here, I can take these 2 negatives away from here. Really, how do you get rid of a negative? You add, right? If I have a debt, if I owe somebody, if I lost a bet of a bag of Kit Kats, some of you know that story, I can only pay that debt off by getting a positive amount to pay it off with. So, if we add 2, it's really 2x compared to negative 6. Still,
But then we should add
Max?
Negative 3.
it, what, Max?
Then we should add 6.
Hold on.
0.
What's your thought?
Well, you added 2, so we should add 6.
Are we allowed to add 6 to both sides?
Sure.
Sure, we can add stuff to both sides. So those positive 6 cancel out with this, right? Like, so what Max did now was make 0 over here, and we have 2x plus 6 I mean, we could say as long as x is positive, what then?
Even if x is
Then
0,
it's greater.
x could be negative 5.
Talk with your group. If these are equal, what's x?
We could have
Imagine not.
Jordan, you want to talk to me about this?
X would be negative 3
How do you figure?
because if you multiply negative 3 by 2, you get negative 6, and negative 6 and 6 cancel each other out.
Yeah, negative 6 and 6 would cancel each other out. So, like we found out on the last one, or 2 ago, or whatever it was, when it was like 0 equal to 0, if we can say that the two sides are equal, things get a lot better, actually. Things get a lot easier, right? Not easy, but easier than it might be. So, you and your teammates are welcome to start 58 for your homework. It is on, well, they're all on your worksheet, so make sure to read directions. At this point is when I'm giving check minuses for people that didn't read directions. Yeah, I'll walk around and get them. I'll come get loaner books. I need to number them. So
I thought we were supposed to do, I think we're supposed to do
why don't we give a pat there as your pat? Well, then you just worked ahead. You must have just got confused.
I don't have to like
Yeah, you do. It was in the other packet, or you already turned it in.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's your, no, this is a
I
loaner book.
thought you didn't do it.
Oh, I did too. I'm so
No, we're the same.
Like, your guys' book. You got a loaner book back here?
Yeah, me too.
Hey.
This is really good.
Yeah, we were. Okay. You're right.
Ow! Connor, why did you hit me? It hurt so bad.
Could be anything. So we know what it is. X might be positive, X might be negative. We don't know. Where's book 24? Someone still got 24. Hey! First off, somebody has book 24, it's fine, but it's mine, so make sure you leave it here. We do not know any variable value, and we do not know any variable comparisons. Okay, so I just had the question, is y always bigger than x? Absolutely not. Do y and x always exist together? No. So y and x have no direct comparison. So even though when we look at our tiles, y looks bigger than x, remember those tiles are all fake. They're all like stretchy. They're like a figment of our imagination. They're actually infinitely big or infinitely small. So does that make, it looks like y is bigger than x because our tiles? Not true. Does not matter. Yeah, your eyes deceive you. Alright, I think that is all the time that I have. Oh yeah, I have a schedule here. No, hold on, you have 3 more minutes. Keep working on your homework. You're fine. Alright, we're in here till 3:02. Don't let me dismiss you guys early.
Like, I just took it out and then you said, okay, we might have to go.
You know how to read a clock and a schedule.